one of the questions have always been this inquisitive, and I mean, I know the answer to it, but we thought we'll get your answer on it. And maybe in the same time, one of the other things is people asking if there were any hairy moments with me and animals. I know we had a couple of elephants in Namibia a few years ago that were swimming through the river, and I was photographing them. My dad's eyes were a bit bigger than usual. But yeah, maybe a story from when I was younger.
Yeah, let's start with the last one. A lot of things comes to mind, you know. But one of the things which is incidents that really was something that I will always, as long as I've got a mind and life in me, will remember, which I really appreciate a lot. I was working as a very young doctor in Rundu, which is right on the border with Angola, up north in Namibia. For you that know the geography a little bit, it's on the panhandle of Namibia going inland. He was 3 years old, and I went with a guy who was a nature conservation senior person to a place with the name of Koudum. It's a Bushman name. And it's a totally pristine area. There was hardly roads, there was nothing else than 2 roads for 4-wheel drive cars. It was really for hundreds and hundreds of kilometers and very thick bush. And we were sleeping next to a pan, like a round one, like a saucer, with the name of Leeupan, which means directly translated lion pan. And there was a lot of lions in the vicinity. Just a little bit of water in the center, and we were sleeping right on the side. We've been there with a huge 4-wheel drive car, Ford F250. It was amazing cars. I remember a lot of stories about them, but
can I interrupt quickly just for a second, just about Koudum, because I went back there a couple of years ago, and I've mentioned it a few times as well. So it's just a reserve that we've spoken about. Lots of elephants as well, so I enjoy that. And like my dad says, lots of lions.
Lions and sable antelopes and roan antelopes, which is a
wild dog still.
Yeah, it was still a wild dog. So it's really in the outback. We were camping with the bushes behind us, the bucky or the what do you call it? Ute. That's how I worked in Western Australia for a year, but this is what it is. And we made a bush here and a bush in the back, and the pan was in the front. And the water's edge was about 80 meters from where we camped. We had a fire there going, and what we used to do, if you're in rough country like that, you make a fire, a small fire with a nice piece of wood in between about this size, which will glow and then light the next fire. So you've got fires 2 or 3, depending on how long you anticipate to stay, which will light 2 or 3 fires right through the night. This one will burn out, and then this one will start in 3 or 4 hours later on. And the guy had a little Jack Russell. I always say Jack Daniels. I mean Jack Russell's doggy with him, and I heard him the night barking, not growling more. And Peter was 3 years old. His mother was very upset that I took him along, and he waked me up and said, "Papa." I said, "Yeah, Peter, what is it?" "Papa, is that not a lion?"
Sê maar gaan Afrikaans ook asseblief. Okay. Moet ek jou wakker gemaak. We'll translate just now.
Papa, is that nie 'n leeu daai nie? Is that nie 'n leeu nie? And it was full moon, I must add that. And I said, "No man, there's no lions here. Don't worry, go back to sleep." And I heard the dog again, and he said, "Papa, there's a leeu." "Father, that's a lion." And I went onto my elbows on the other side, which was about 150 meters from us. There was this lioness sitting on a haunches. And he wasn't scared. He knew exactly what it was. And this is what I will remember. And I think that probably was, if I think back, his first love for nature. This is where it all started. I would like to think so.